Hello, welcome back to Faithful Fatherhood in 10 minutes.
We're going to hit
I'm
it hard
Josh.
today.
Yeah, we're hitting it hard today. Yeah. I'm Josh. This is Jimmy.
Nice to see you guys.
And today we're talking about what does it mean to be a faithful father.
Yeah. So, I mean, faithful dad, it's not just not just being a good dad, not just being around in the home, but what does it mean to actually be a faithful father? That is a distinction that we specifically want to call out. I think faithfulness in our culture today, in particular, I think it's kind of underrated. There's a lot of these Hollywood tropes of what a dad is. He's the bumbling idiot that can't ever get anything right, the Tim the Toolman Taylor kind of dad. He's around and he's funny, but he's dumb. And he might come in a pinch to have the solve or have the win. But otherwise it's better for him to just sit in the corner and stay disengaged because he's just going to mess it all up. Like that's what we've been told for the longest time in any show that you watch, that dads, it's just better for you to just disengage, go over there, you're just going to get it wrong. But that's not what we're called to, and that's not what we should aspire to. So we want to help call you guys out. We want to help encourage you, help inspire you maybe, to step in the gap, be that faithful dad. I think a lot of dads, a lot of times we feel like we're failing because we are falling into those tropes and disengaging. And then we see like, yeah, things aren't going the way that I think they should, or we just end up believing all these lies, watching someone else, or all scrolling through the Instagram and everything. And all these people only post the top moments of their life. You don't ever see the struggles. They only post the fun things, and then they intentionally are going out and seeking out more of the fun or exciting things. You're like, well, my life isn't like that. We're not sitting on top of Mount Fuji, doing something exciting. And so we end up believing all these lies. Like, I think I'm not as exciting, or I'm not as adventurous, or all these things. There's all these reasons that we end up thinking I'm not doing enough as a dad. I'm not hitting the same notes that everyone else is, or whatever it is. That's not what it's all about. But also faithfulness isn't only about always getting everything right. It's okay to end up experiencing our failures and being able to recognize where we were in those moments and where we can come out of those.
So being a faithful dad also, just like you said, doesn't mean to win the popularity contest online. Doesn't mean you have to post every single thing and be that top dad all the time.
Right. I mean, we're called to be fathers, not influencers. Well, you are an influencer. But who are you influencing, right? Right. And man, it's so easy to get distracted and to be chasing after the likes or the algorithm and all that sort of stuff. I'm going on a totally different tangent, but man, it's so easy to get distracted and be chasing things that aren't what really materially matter. We can get so distracted and be chasing so many different things. And yeah, our kids aren't needing that perfect dad. They just need that faithful dad. So what are some of those core traits of what's a faithful dad?
Well, I would say a core trait of being a faithful dad is being available emotionally, mentally, and physically. So that means get off the dang couch, put down the TV remote, put down your cell phone, stop being distracted, and make sure that you take that moment of pause and clear your troubles and anxieties. Don't hide them from your kids, but deal with them. Put your trust in God. Make sure your kids understand you're doing that. That's your job to teach them that as well. And then make yourself available emotionally.
Mm-hmm. I like the thought that you had of enter into their world. That we could be under the same roof, we can be in the same house, but am I just gonna be in my area doing my thing? Am I out puttering around in the garage and never interact with anybody? I'm not being present or faithful if that's the only place I exist. But where are my kids? Can I be around them more often? I'm not saying 24/7 and you're not allowed to ever have your own hobby or do your own thing, but if that's your number one go-to only, um, your presence matters. Being present, not being perfect, but being present has such a huge impact on our kids.
Absolutely. Um, so why does that matter? Why does any of this matter, Jimmy? Why does life matter? No.
What's the meaning?
What does it all mean? So presence tells your kids that they matter, and your kids need to feel like they matter. As
Mhm.
soft as this might sound to some of those hardcore dads out there, you need to make sure your kids feel like they matter. Because think of what kind of kid you're going to end up with if you constantly are telling them and showing them that they don't matter. Are they going to have any self-confidence or self-worth? Are they going to always be competing with whatever the next thing is in life to get attention? Is that going to change their attitude and how they talk to people and treat people? Probably. You're going to mess your kid up. You got to make sure that they know that they matter to you, and it's not always obvious. Us dads can be a little, not going to say slow, but we're not as quick sometimes on these emotional like things as we should be. It's not wired into us, I'd say, as cleanly as it is for a nurturing wife. Let's just use that as an example.
Mhm.
So it does take a little more effort, I feel, for me personally, to put forth the feelings to somebody else that they matter to me. I might do something and think that I'm showing them that they matter to me, but you gotta sometimes spell it out for people because everyone learns differently and feels differently.
Mhm. I think one of those other core traits is the dad that's steady in the storm. That, I mean, life's going to throw all sorts of curveballs our way. Crazy things are going to happen. You're going to have stressful days at work. You're going to lose the softball league. Like, things are going to happen that don't go your way, whatever it is that you're into or whatever your daily routine happens. Someone cuts you off on the highway. I don't know. Things are going to happen. Things are going to come up. um, how you respond impacts your family so much. Sometimes your response might even have a bigger impact than the actual event that happened. Um, Someone cutting you off on the highway on your way home from work and no one else is in the car, that moment itself didn't impact your family, but the way you walk in the door, and if you're huffing and puffing and all that sort of stuff, you're bringing that energy, you're bringing that change in attitude into your home. So then whenever there is an event that does involve the rest of your family, are you stepping up to the plate? Are you standing in the gap? Are you blocking the arrows and saying, no, this is not the way things are going to go, I'm going to be strong and steady? Or are you going to let the world just kind of push you around or push your buttons and your emotions and fly off the handle, and that's not giving that steady foundation that your kids are needing as they're growing up. So being mindful of when the hard parts of life come your way, how do you respond?
Exactly. Leading with love, not ego. Kind of ties into what you were just saying. You don't have to dominate and control in order to lead somebody. You can lead people with humility and grace and consistency in what you do. You can teach through correct actions instead of modeling the bad action. Either any way you go with it, you're going to be teaching somebody how you react and how to react to situations. I can remember back in my childhood how my father reacted to people, like you said, cutting him off on the highway, or how he acted when certain people did certain things. His words still stand in my mind when I hear him say, his responses. I might not remember what happened to him. I don't remember that at all. But I remember my dad teaching me how to respond to that,
Right.
Good or bad.
Uh-huh.
So it's something to think about with your kids. You gotta lead with love and not, your sense of ego and rightness in this world. Um, yeah,
Yeah. So I think our our main our main hits that we're just wanting to encourage you guys with this short one is be present, be there in the room. It's not about being perfect. Just being there makes such a difference. Don't let that fear of I might mess up keep you from being around and interacting with your family. When life gets tough, things go bad at work, lose your job, whatever, your response in those situations, those can alter the trajectory of the next day, the next week, the next year of your family, and your response of how you either handle it with grace or handle it with fear and anxiety. Even though you might be experiencing that, have your healthy outlet for processing that. But for your family, for your kids, stepping into that gap and being someone who helps carry that load, and then leading with love and not ego. It's not only about you. It's not all about you. You're not God's gift to everyone in the world. um, but man, your love means the world to your spouse and to your kids. Don't withhold that. Keep that the first dose of any thing you give in any situation. Step out with a big heaping dose of love. Makes huge difference.
exactly. And pick one of these things this week and focus on it. Try to be uh, more present in your family. Try to stay steady through arguments or through tough times, and lead with love and not ego. And try to see how that works out for you this week. If you focus on one of these things, it might make a big difference in your life and, more importantly, your kids' lives or your family's lives. Um, and then share that with us. Come back, share it with dadschoolpodcast.com. Find us on YouTube, Instagram, um, where else? Spotify, Apple iPods, any place you listen to your tunes. Respond to us and let us know how it went for you. We're always here trying to help you guys out in any way we can. Share us with all your friends and family.
Yeah. We love you guys.
Take care.
Bye.